Right.
We're in
Right.
Florida. When I first started practicing, it was the 2008 era, and there's all sorts of
Hmm.
foreclosures, all sorts of bankruptcies, and then we see, okay, the market's better, bankruptcies start decreasing, and then the real estate market picks up. And what's crazy is, so I came back in 2020 when COVID happened, thinking, oh my gosh, the bankruptcy market's going to come back. This is going to be great. It can help so many people, but it never came. And it
Yeah.
was crazy that 2020 was the lowest number of filings that we've had in the last 20 years.
Yeah, I definitely think bankruptcy lawyers thought that 2020 was going to drive a lot of people into bankruptcy. I think it goes to show that there were things that were being done at the federal level that were helping to spare people. But I'm sure you've seen, as I've seen, as much of a break as we got in 2020, 2021, and even starting into 2022, man, the floodgates opened up. And it's because there was just a delayed reaction. It was just a delaying of people's misery through COVID because they didn't have a lot of needs and they had resources. But now here we are with inflation, and we've got existential dread, right? Like every time we turn around, there's some existential dread, and that all compounds into the financial category, making this a very complicated, anxious, overly stressed out, full of debt society. We've got a lot of people who are really on the brink right now with a lot of different factors, and they need to be talking to bankruptcy lawyers so they can let some of this anxiety out and figure out a way to move forward. Like, that's what I'm seeing right now.
I mean, there's so many ways that bankruptcy to be used as a tool or as a bust to help better one's condition, and there's so many stigmas still surrounding bankruptcy, and we're going to get into a bunch of those here in a little bit. But it's amazing how much education or how much disinformation has been out there about bankruptcy. Let's return it. I mean, we're out here trying to preach the goods about it, but the only reason we have to tell everybody how great it is or how it can help them is because there's so much disinformation out there.
Yeah, I mean, I talk a lot about the fact that I think Monopoly really did us dirty. I really honestly think that the game Monopoly put into people the thought that bankruptcy is actually worse than jail, right? It's worse to go bankrupt in Monopoly than it is to go to jail. And that, along with the fact that you and I know how predatory the unsecured lending market is, right? We unsecured lenders in the consumer lending industry. We understand how predatory that is. Most people don't understand how predatory it is, and the lenders themselves have worked very, very hard to convince you that they're not predatory and that you're a bad person if you don't pay the predatory, manipulative debt that they've sucked you into. And so, that's usually the place that I start from when I'm trying to help people become more comfortable. But I do think it is a concerted effort on behalf of consumer lenders to vilify bankruptcy, obviously, and that's what we're seeing. People who defend the banks, it's so painful for me to watch. It is so painful to watch somebody come in and defend a bank. It's not the right world for that.